channel. My name is Markesia and I'm a mom of 4 and I absolutely love to read. Reading is a huge part of my personality and I usually watch a lot of videos around this time of the year. Actually, I watch a lot of videos throughout the year to help me get recommendations for books and see what other people out there are reading. So this year I decided to join the club and go ahead and start making me some videos myself about reading. So this video is going to be about my 5-star reads in 2024. I'm not going to read like the blurb or anything regarding the books. I'm just going to tell you how I felt about it and move on. I would love to know what you guys read in 2024 and what you gave 5 stars to. So far, in the videos that I've seen, a lot of people have struggled giving 5 stars to books, but I feel like I had more 5 stars this past year than ever before. So I'm gonna share these with you guys. Let me know if you're gonna pick up any one of these books. And yeah, y'all, my phone is going crazy right now, so that's what I keep looking at. All right, so let's go ahead and start with, to give context. I am a mom of 4. I have 2 stepdaughters, 2 biological children, ranging from the ages of 12 to 10 months. So I had a baby this year, and I had a baby in 2024, and I also had a baby in 2023. So reading looks a little different for me. Has looked a little different for me the last 2 years. So keep that in mind as I'm sharing these books with you. But yeah, let's get right into it. So my first 5-star read, and I know for a fact that this is my first of the year of 2024, is the Finley Donovan series. I read Finley Donovan is Killing It, Finley Donovan Knocks Him Dead, Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun, Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice. I read all of those in that series at the top of 2024. Those are by El Casamino. I'm not good at pronouncing names, so forgive me. But and I really enjoy those books. Those are like comfort, murder, mystery type books. It has romance in there. It has mystery elements. It has friendship in there. It has self-discovery, motherhood, all of the things I really enjoy. And the book was laugh out loud hilarious. Like, there were several times in the middle of the night I would be nursing my daughter and laughing because I was reading the books and they were funny. I read all of those books on Kindle because as a mom it's just easier for me to have a Kindle or audiobook. But I am gonna order the physical copies of those books because I enjoyed them so much and I want to have them on hand. But yeah, I definitely recommend this series to anybody who's looking for a more lighthearted read. It's not heavy literature at all. So if you're a smart reader, you may not enjoy that series, but it is really good. And I feel like everyone should cleanse their palate every once in a while. You know, everyone should shake it up. So yeah, I 100% recommend the Finley Donovan series. I believe that I gave every book in that series 5 stars. Following up with that series, I read another series, and it is the Mind F Word series. This series was a lot different than what I would usually read, and it's by S.T. Abbey. I read the entire series, and I'm pretty sure that I gave every book in this series 5 stars. Now, again, this was a little different than what I usually read. This series was focused around a girl getting revenge on people who did things to her. So it kind of reminded me of kind of like Kill Bill. If you've ever seen Kill Bill, think about that type of vibe. Okay. Yeah, so if you've seen Kill Bill, then yes, it's kind of similar to that. Very intense revenge series. It has romance in there. So you have a woman who is super focused on getting revenge on these guys who've done things to her. But she also meets this man. She's very cold, closed off, but she also meets this man that she falls in love with, and of course he is a cop. He's the cop working on her case. So you just follow their romance, her revenge getting, and to be honest, you're rooting for her because the thing that happened to her was so tragic and awful, that you're rooting for her even in the midst of, I mean, they describe the murders very detailed. So yeah, if you're a little queasy on the stomach, maybe not, but it's super good. I loved it. Like every book, I think I read them back to back. Right when I finished one, I had to read the other, and they were short reads as well, but really good series. I recommend it, especially if you're looking for something new, something outside of your usual, outside of your norm to read, because those are some really good books. Really easy reads. I think it's about 3 or 4 books in that series. It was really good. Then we have the mixtape by Brittany Cherry. I really enjoyed that book. It's a romance novel. Yeah, it was really good. I'm trying to remember the details. I remember I gave it 5 stars. I remember really liking it. I remember liking it so much so that I began looking for other Brittany Cherry books, but I did not have as much success finding other books by her that I liked, except for The Holidays. I read that at the end of 2023. I enjoyed that, and so I picked up the mixtape and I enjoyed that. So really good book, romance novel. I think it's pretty standard, normal romance novel. No violence, anything like that. So I recommend that if you're into romance as well. Then I have The Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren. I need to see the cover of that to remember what that is about, but obviously I liked it. I gave it 5 stars. See this. Oh, that was a part of the Kindle Valentine's release that they did on Kindle Unlimited. So I read that through Kindle Unlimited for free, and it was really good. I liked it. So I read The Exceptions. There were 3 books in this like Valentine's Day series collaboration. I don't know what you would call it. It was 3 different authors, but there were 3 books that were a part of that. The Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren, The Worst Wingman Ever by Abby Jimenez, and then there was a third one that I did not give 5 stars to because I did not like it as much. But the exception to the rule and The Worst Wingman Ever, I gave both of those 5 stars. Really good romance books. I can't remember the details. One of them, I think the girl gets stuck in a hot tub, and then the other one, I think the girl walks into like a bakery. I can't remember, but I know they're really cute meat themed romance novels, and I recommend them if you're a romance girly. Like, for sure, if you're a romance girly, The Exception to the Rule and The Worst Wingman Ever is going to be in your lane. All right, my next 5-star read for 2024 was Counterfeit by Kristen Chan. I really enjoyed this book. Whenever I find time to do a top 5, I'm gonna probably do my top 5 books of 2024, or maybe I'll just do my top 3. This is gonna be in there. Counterfeit by Kristen Chan is going to be in it because it was so good. It's about 2 Asian women who knew each other in college. But one of them had to leave for something. But anyway, she gets into the business of selling counterfeit purses, high designer purses. Think the Chanels, the Louis, actually let's go higher than that, the Birkins. And it is so interesting, and it really kept my attention the entire time. I loved that book. I listened to it on audio. I think I listened to it on Spotify, and the voices were really good. Like the person who did the voices, who read the book, she did very well. So I definitely recommend Counterfeit by Kristen Chan. If I had to put that in a category, it's definitely not. It's not romance. it's more like, I don't know, like lifestyle, crime. Yeah, definitely crime, because people are trying to catch them. More like crime type thing. But yeah, I recommend it. It's a really good book. We're down to my last two books, and these are the last two books I read in 2024. Actually, we have The Answer Is No by Frederick Backman. This is the first book I've ever read by this author, but it was really good, super short read. I actually read this while I was in a work slump. Work was kind of stressful. And I read The Answer Is No, and it was hilarious. I think I was laughing out loud by the second page, and I was screenshotting the page and sending it over to one of my closest friends because it was just funny to me. So very lighthearted read, very interesting. I love the lesson that it taught, because it kind of taught like a lesson. It's about this man who lives in this apartment complex, and he is completely against getting to know people. He don't want friends, he don't want relationship, he wants nothing to do with anybody. But then something happens in the apartment complex, and it forces him to interact with other people, and he's like, before he knows it, his mind is shifting, or his environment is shifting. And it's just cute. It really made me think a lot about loneliness and connection, and about loneliness and connection, and just how much as humans we like really need to interact with each other, because it's hilarious. It's downright unserious, but hilarious. I definitely appreciated it. And then the last book that I read for 2024 is Confess by Colleen Hoover. I know that everybody has their different opinions about Colleen Hoover. I personally enjoy her. Not every book by Colleen do I enjoy, but when I start a book, I can kind of tell if I want to complete, if I want to finish reading it or not. My sister actually just picked up a book by Colleen Hoover, and she was hooked on the first page. And that's usually how it is with me and Colleen. Like, if I'm gonna like her book, I'm hooked on the first page. But if the first couple of pages don't get me, I'm probably not gonna like it. Anyway, Confess was really good. If you know anything about Colleen Hoover, you know how she do. It's a romance book, but it has like a spin, like an element of like, romance novels always get to this point where you wonder if the two love interests, if they're going to be together or not, or if that thing that happens is going to tear them apart or not. And we know that it's not going to tear them apart. The thing about Colleen Hoover is that the thing that happens may actually tear them apart. So even though I'm in my brain and I'm like, this is a romance novel, she's going to allow them to be together, another part of me is like, but is she not gonna let them be together? Because the thing that happens is such a understandably thing that would come between a relationship, versus like in general romance novels, it's just like a misunderstanding or something simple, like the woman love interest sees the guy out to dinner with another girl, so she thinks that he's interested in somebody else, but it actually turns out to be his sister. Like something silly like that can easily be squashed. No, that's not how Colleen does it. It's always something that kind of has me like, maybe they shouldn't be together, or maybe they're not going to be able to overcome this, or maybe this thing that is happening is big enough to make the love interest decide consciously to be apart. But yeah, I say all that to say Confess was a 5-star read for me, and I recommend it. So as y'all can see, a lot of my favorite books of the year, or 5-star reads of the year, were romance novels, very lighthearted stories. I didn't go heavy in literature this year just because, again, I had a baby at the top of the year, and then with postpartum already working inside of me, I didn't need anything stressful. Like, I needed everything to be kind of lighthearted and fun. So I feel like I had a lot of fun reading this past year. I have some bigger goals next year, of course. I want to get back into smart literature, deeper meaning reading, but I'm still going to keep it lighthearted. I'm still going to dabble in my romance. Just a lot of things, and I plan to make a different video about that, about some of my goals for 2025 reading. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like the video if you want to stick around and see what else I post. here, please hit subscribe, and don't forget to drop a comment down below letting me know if any of the books I talked about made you want to go pick them up and read them yourself, or if you've read any of the books that I talked about and you want to share your opinion, because I would love to see what you guys thought. And also let me know, what were your 5-star reads of 2024 so that I can add them to my TBR for 2025. All right, y'all, that's it though. Thank you so much for watching.